Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm in a tournament this weekend and my first round matchup has been released and I'm facing Necrons Hypercrypt Legion. This is one of the strongest 40k detachments at the moment, so what do I need to contend with and how do I beat them? The key thing about the detachments is its uppy-downy ability. It's a super strong ability as every turn they can pick up 3 units at the end of your opponent's turn, then bring them back in their turn. This can happen turn 1 for deep strike units if they go second. It's generally 3 units but everyone takes the enhancement, so make it 4. Only deep strike units get to place anywhere, otherwise it's 6 inches from the board edge like normal reserve rolls, and there aren't that many deep strike units in the codex. But there is an enhancement to give a lead unit deep strike ability. So other than this, what else do they have? They got resilient units like Wraiths and Catan. Catan being slow really benefit from jumping around in this detachment, as well as being super hard to kill. There's also good access to feel no pains. They have good anti-infantry and anti-tank shooting. There's a 3-inch deep strike strat which is difficult to screen for. They have the Monolith, a toughness 13 beast with deep strike and the Eternity Gate ability to bring an infantry unit to it. That unit can shoot but not charge that turn, however for 2 CP they can also charge as well. This can bring a unit from reserves or from somewhere else on the board, including from within engagement. It's specific to teleporting infantry units, but Wraiths led by an infantry character, as they often are, also get the infantry keyword. Warriors and Immortals can get move after shooting with a Chronomancer, which is another powerful ability. The faction heals each turn, you have to kill units outright. Then lastly, in a competitive setting, the manoeuvrability of the army really makes secondary point scoring easier. The main thing going against the faction is that good armour saves and invuns aren't that common, so good AP will cut through them. So then, some things to do when you're playing against them. Focus on killing units entirely. Splitting fire might give them a chance to heal. If you have access to 12-inch deep strike denial, bring it. It'll really put a dent in Necron mobility. It even pushes the Monolith teleport ability out to 12 inches as well. Unfortunately, not all factions have this available to them. Catan are really difficult to kill. Melter guns against them though are great. The additional damage of Melter gets ignored by the half damage rule, so really concentrate on getting into range. Grenades or other mortal wound generating abilities are really good as well, as they won't get halved, and spam damage 1 weapons as they'll get through the defences. Now dealing with Hypercrypt mobility. Units without deep strike can only come in from the board edge, and this is something you can screen a bit easier. Also until turn 3 they can't come into your deployment zone. It's lucky there aren't that many deep strike units, even if the enhancement gives it to another unit. Use rapid ingress. Because of Necron manoeuvrability, it's hard to stage your army, but to counter, bring one of your units in after your opponent's movement phase via rapid ingress to give yourself position. Monoliths are big and will likely need a 3-inch deep strike to get somewhere scary. Consider measuring this out carefully. Placing a 40mm base model in the middle of an objective will screen for 3-inch deep strike landing directly on the objective. Use a unit to surround an objective to stop a monolith dropping a unit onto the objective using its teleport ability. Then if they use the shoot and move ability, they'll have to kill that unit to be able to get onto an objective. The monolith delivering an infantry brick is a key technique, but destroying one will be difficult as there's a strat to give it a 4+ invuln. Mortals, high AP combining shooting and charging will get the job done. Just think about where you're going to position your units that can do that job though. As a faction, Necrons have a high output for anti-infantry shooting, so if you're going to try and deal with it, you need transports to protect your units. Ignore the brick units if you don't have the ability to kill them, kill everything else instead. And if it's the Catan, they're only moving 6 anyway, or they're doing 9-inch charges, or with the 3-inch deep strike, they can't charge. If your opponent takes behind enemy lines and deploy teleport homers, something their manoeuvrability will help them with, concentrate on screening. If you have a vector ability to increase the CP costs of strats, then target the 3-inch deep strike strat. Precision attacks against characters make a big difference against Necrons. Often the leaders are giving +1 to hit and feel no pains, so taking them away will stunt some units. All this said, the most difficult time playing a Necron Hypercrypt army will be if they go second. You will have likely moved out to grab objectives, board control or secondary points. A Necron player will likely deploy defensively behind terrain, as they use the uppy-downy to move, so you'll likely not get much effective shooting in. Moving forward will have left screening gaps in your deployment zone. The Necron player can pick up 3 or 4 units, including the Monolith, and in their turn, where they have 2 CP, not including any unit abilities that give them extra CP, they'll be able to pull off whatever plans they want. Expect a monolith in your deployment zone that drops a brick of infantry to deliver a weight of dice in shooting. It may seem rubbish, but if you go first, consider a very cagey first turn. Push onto one objective with a unit, but then keep everything else hidden and spread out screening your deployment zone. If the Necron player then chooses to be aggressive, they will have exposed themselves and you can then pounce. If they stay cagey as well, then a good option for your second turn is to push onto the table edges, screening strat reserves deployments. Take the edge objectives and then keep a killer unit near your home objective to pounce if they try some shenanigans to steal it from you. It'll be a difficult game as it's one of the best factions and detachments at the moment, but hopefully a fun challenge. Please let me know what your tips are for dealing with Necrons and drop them in the comments. I'll see you in soon. Bye.